88.9 FM, KUCI Irvine. It's the Hodgepodge Collective. I'm Dan Surround, Saturdays 4 to 6. And we just finished listening to Metronomy with She Wants. And we got on the phone right now, we have Joe. How are you doing, Joe?
Hey, I'm very good, thank you. Very good.
Awesome. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you perfectly, yeah.
Very well. So just before we came out of that song, I was asking you about the Troubadour. Now, have you played there before?
No, we haven't. The last time we were here was the last time we were in LA was at the Echo, so it's nice. A new place. I hear it's steeped in history. We're following a long line of, famous musicians. Very exciting.
Yeah, I was there. I unfortunately got my show, so I can't be there tonight. But I went and saw Anna Calvi there a few months back. A few months back, before July timeframe, August, somewhere in there. Right. She rocked it.
Good.
So that was a wonderful place to see, and she did an awesome job, and just amazing what she can do with the guitar. Yeah,
I've still not seen her live, but we saw her at the Mercury Award thing, but I've still yet to see a concert. Well, I'd love to.
Right. So I was looking at your tour list for this year, and it's insane.
It's relentless. I'm so tired.
I think tonight, if I counted right, and I just did it real quick. It's like, what is this, like the 78th show of,
Really? Okay. I mean, I've lost track. But yeah, it certainly feels like that amount. But I mean, I guess it's just been a kind of, when everything's kind of gone so well this year, I think we're just like, get it while we can.
So you were here back in, was it April time frame at the Echo?
Mm-hmm.
And then, because, like I said, I look at your tour list here, and it like I said, it is insane. You've zigzagged everywhere. It seems like you've done I thought at one count 9 nights in a row, maybe, of shows.
Yeah, it's weird. It kind of seems normal. We've got a day off tomorrow, I believe. And I think we're going to be spending it in your fair town or city. Is it a city or a town?
Well, I guess it's all part of your frame of reference. I think it's probably more of a city.
Do they have big buildings?
We have big buildings. We have big malls. We have loads of people.
Well, that sounds like a city to me.
Then it's probably more of a city, but yeah. It looks like you play tomorrow night at the Detroit Bar. As far as I know, tickets are still available.
What?
I don't know.
Available?
I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I gave away a pair of tickets. I've done my part. It looks like you have a night off, and then you go hit San Diego, and then it looks like you got another night off, and then, well, it's not exactly a night off because then you jet back to the East Coast.
Yeah. But then actually, we've just found out. It sounds like there's some kind of crazy situation with this thing in San Diego where apparently the venue we're supposed to be playing hasn't been constructed. It's a bit in the balance. I mean, I hope we're playing, but yeah, if there's no venue, it's a bit difficult.
So is it just going to be you'll be out on the local boardwalk out on Pacific Beach, maybe?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Wearing kind of hard hats and high visibility vests, things like that, on the construction site.
So you mentioned you're tired. I can definitely feel for you because I'm looking at this schedule and it looks like you've zigzagged. You've hit Europe, you hit England, you go to France, and you back forth. You go back. You hit here, you go back to Europe, and you go to Brazil, and you've.
We're trying to be, if it makes anyone feel any better, whenever I'm in a hotel, I always reuse my towels. I'm not trying to destroy the environment that much.
Well, I'm sure we appreciate it. I'm sure the people who make up the rooms appreciate the effort. So you're going to be going for a little bit longer, for another, till you got January. You're playing some shows. It looks like you slow down once the new year hits, and then.
We've got a trip to Australia in January, and then we're coming back actually because we're doing. I'm not sure if you're allowed. Do they let you announce the Coachella thing? But I've done it. But we're doing that, and then so we're coming back in March for. I think we're going to be back here for a month.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so like we're kind of it's still far from over, but we're having a good time. I'm not complaining.
So how do you? Yeah, how does the set list, the playlist, how does that morph, across a tour like this? Do you mix it up? Do you, to try to keep yourself fresh or on your toes? And how does that happen?
I mean, like it's funny because of course you kind of try to kind of mix it up and keep it like fresh. But I suppose what happens after you've been playing like so many shows, you've kind of tried all the variations and you kind of know which ones don't work. So you end up, I don't know, there's certainly bits of the set that we don't change too much because they seem to work pretty well like they are. But then it's always nice to be, to try and be a little bit flexible and every time we come back over here, we try and at least have one extra song in the set that we didn't have last time.
Right. I read somewhere that you seem to have an affinity for the West Coast and especially L.A. So does it become, do you become more excited coming back out this way? Yeah,
absolutely. I think there's just, I mean, like the affinity is kind of, it's kind of loose. You have to use your imagination because, like the whole thing with the record, the English Riviera is that I'm from this place, which is kind of it's a very pretty English seaside resort. So if it's very sunny there, you could imagine it could be somewhere like LA, but everything's tiny. So when I come here, it's more, I don't know, it just feels like we have a lot of fun when we come here. I think generally, like, English people are quite fascinated by this part of America.
Have you ever been down to Venice Beach?
No, would you believe it? I haven't. Every time we've kind of thing is we're slightly stupid Londoners, and we think we can walk everywhere. So I think we kind of set off for places and thought, oh yeah, we'll go to the beach in the afternoon, and then it takes us 3 hours to walk to the shop or something like that.
Yeah, distances are a little different here, and even if you're taking a taxi cab.
Yeah, we've learned. Don't worry, I've learned from my mistakes. And the way people look at you if you're walking down the street, they think you're crazy.
They had, Venice is definitely a unique place to go and see.
That's what I want to do. I think we all want to go down there and get some rollerblades and things like that.
I think was it How Clean Is Your House? Kim and Ags, the show out of Britain.
Yeah,
they did they went to some hoarder's house down there in Venice, and it was...
oh, really? What, they've come over here?
They came over here at some point and did a number of episodes.
Wow, who would have thought?
And so...
England's biggest kind of exports for years have been Kim and Aggie and the X Factor. And maybe Come Dine With Me. Gordon Ramsay. Oh, there's so many.
Gordon Ramsay, you got Torchwood, you got Doctor Who. I'm a big fan of... Doctor Who, and I love Top Gear is a very fun show to watch.
Oh, it makes me proud. I'm so proud of my country.
The only thing I never understood is when I see them driving down the road. Of course, you drive on the wrong side of the road, compared to the U.S.
Yeah.
But what's
the road?
What does the zigzag lines on the street mean? I've never understood that, and I never got the energy.
Where are they? Are they on either side of the street?
On either side of the street, and it's like these diagonal lines that zigzag back and forth, and I don't quite understand what that is.
I think that means, I think you'll find them near schools and stuff, and I think it means the cars aren't allowed to pull up because there might be children popping out from behind them. So it's a kind of a free area.
Well, thank you for the road tip advice.
Well, it's fine, yeah. If there's anything else you want to know about, signs, things like that, you can call me back. It's fine.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So you guys were nominated for the Mercury Best Album Award, and PJ Harvey got that, and I did some reading up on this, and did you? It seemed like out here you seemed to be a little, you were vocal about the award, and you were vocal about your opinions about. Did you guys receive any kind of pushback or flack or anything of that nature concerning your opinions on that one?
What did I say? I can't remember.
Well, I think Adele, came to mind.
Oh, but yeah, I think it's funny because I remember I did this interview, and all I was saying was, as often happens, things get slightly kind of, they take a soundbite and it's not really representative of what you're saying. But I think all I was saying about Adele was, like, to be fair, she's kind of the award is for the idea is the award is for, like, lesser known bands and bands or artists who kind of could do with the coverage, and I was only really saying, like, she would admit it herself. It's like she's doing so incredibly well. Like, she wouldn't have really needed it, But then I think they were saying, I think I saw a thing saying Metronomy explained why they think she shouldn't win, or, like, why they hate Adele. But it's nothing like that.
Well, you can trust to say I'm not going to publish anything to try to twist your words. But
again.
I would imagine it's a great honor, and like you said, it's something that's to help the up and comers, the ones that maybe have they're getting close and maybe they're getting ready to break through. It gives them more attention and notoriety, and certain people. PJ Harvey has been around for a long time, has a huge body of work, and
I guess the thing is, it's like I kind of didn't really because I'm so familiar with PJ Harvey and have known the record since the kind of 90s and stuff. I kind of just completely, it didn't cross my mind that there's a whole generation of people that haven't got a clue who she is,
Right.
So I think, that's kind of an example of why it's, she's like a worthy winner, really. It kind of helps a new generation find her.
Oh, definitely. And she's definitely no slouch to begin with. It's not like
absolutely.
Well, and nor are you guys, because this album is just just wonderful, and I've enjoyed listening to it. And we got to play The Look from your new album, The English Riviera, and we played Radio Ladio off the Nights Out. And that was from your second album, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, what is the breakdown on your set list of your new stuff versus your old stuff? Is there some formula that you've gone to that you've worked out?
There is a formula, mathematical. No, the formula. Well, the kind of way we work it out is the songs that we can play, we play, and the songs that we don't really know how to play, we don't try. And there's a whole load of stuff off the first record, which is just kind of because when I wrote it, I was doing it in a kind of a very like laptop musician way. So there's kind of so much stuff going on that you can't. I don't know. Like, it'd be difficult to do it justice with just four people. So there's a couple of tracks that we try and do from the first record, and then I don't know. It's kind of like a greatest hits set, I suppose. What you'd call it. But no, I think I guess when we do a show, we try and do a show. We don't get too bogged down in being musos or anything like that. So we just try and get a set that has, I don't know, gets people on their feet.
Well, if you just joined us on the radio, this is KUCI 88.9 FM. And of course, I'll say, why are you just joining us now? Because you've missed a good interview so far with Joe from Metronomy. If you're just tuning in now to get to the next DJ that comes up at 6 o'clock, you've missed out, people. You should know better. They're playing tonight, sold out show at the Troubadour, and they're going to be playing tomorrow night in Costa Mesa at the Detroit Bar. As far as I know, tickets are still available. That is an outrage. I don't know why that is the way it is. That should be corrected.
Well, that's what we're going to do. We'll go and buy up the rest of the tickets, just so that we can say we had a sold-out show there. That's what we do. Tonight it's not even sold out. We've just bought all the tickets.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because you want to make it more intimate to those who are actually going.
Well, yeah. We just kind of sell 10 tickets and then we buy the rest.
I saw up on the internet one of the videos for The Look, and it was more of a kind of a semi-acoustic version. You were out in a garden somewhere. Oh,
was that at Glastonbury even? Was that?
And you were playing acoustic guitar. Bango was playing a keyboard. Anna was playing some kind of little drum machine with twisty knobs on it.
Yeah.
And that sounded just awesome. It sounded really good. And the point I bring this up is, sometimes, you'll go to see a band, you listen to their music on the album and the thing sounds awesome. and then you actually go see them in concert, and it sounds nothing like what it is, because of the processing, the auto tunes, or things of that nature. And I saw that and I listened to it and I said, these guys are great. If you could sit there and do that in that type of environment and make that song sound that good, and it's like a whole nother level. It's great on the album. It's great acoustic. Why not go see see these guys in concert?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's funny though. I mean, I guess that's the thing you get. I don't know. I think that's kind of what I was saying. When we do the shows, we try and like they obviously sound like the songs on the album, but we don't try and get too kind of like. We don't spend too much time trying to make it sound exactly the same, because then it kind of takes away from just putting on a good show, I think. So, we do different renditions.
Now, do you play with a lot of computers in the background, tripping sounds and things of that nature, or is it more of a...
No, we used... I mean, like the kind of first bunch of shows we did, there were actually 3 of us in the band, and so we had this, like a laptop running all the backing tracks, and then more recently we just decided to try and when Anna and Benga joined, we just decided to kind of get rid of having to rely on a kind of backing track. So I mean, Oscar still has to use a little computer to kind of trigger some sounds, but it's all pretty simple really. So I mean, it kind of just means we can behave a bit more like a band.
Yeah, because I think I saw was it Gene Loves Jezebel in an 80s revival tour they're going on. It seemed like a lot of stuff was running off the laptop. So
I think a lot of people do that now. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I think it's kind of a bit odd when you see some bands and you think, oh, they're kind of, I could hear something which I can't see someone doing.
Right. Well, in that format, if you're not using the computer too much, then I would think it's more of an organic environment, and it's not necessarily so pre-recorded, canned.
Yeah.
I think you get a better chance to connect with the listeners with that than all kinds of triggers and things going off in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was also watching some other some interview you're doing. You're out in the streets behind the Troubadour, right? Yeah. So don't get hit with the car, but you're talking about Some Written as as a song that you kind of liked because it was touching your fusion funk side. So,
yeah.
So how is that going? Is that something you're going to do a side project with after this tour is done, or
the fusion funk vibe? I mean, no. I think there's kind of room for it in what I do, really. Like, it's funny. It's one of those things that if you spend time in cities where there are kind of music scenes, and these scenes can be kind of like cliquey, you end up feeling a bit embarrassed sometimes about some of the things that you like, and you feel like it doesn't really fit in with the scene or something. And like, I've always liked kind of more jazzy, like, not really, I don't know if it's fusion, I don't know, but I've always liked that kind of stuff. So it's kind of an act of release. Doing that song was a kind of like admitting something.
It's a little bit of a departure, but yet it's it's nice to delve into other areas and not get stale, I would guess it.
Yeah, although there are tracks on. There's like a track called Side 2, which is on Nights Out, which has got a similar kind of, it's not kind of that different from other things that I've done, I don't think. But we'll see.
So you got this tonight, tomorrow night, Detroit. I think looking at how is it with you playing your own shows versus playing in a large festival? Because like you did like Glastonbury earlier in the year, and the unannounced, pseudo-announced Coachella. That no one listens to this show anyway, so it's not like we've given up anything. So, but
the festivals are kind of they kind of both have their I suppose they both have their ups and downs, but then like the thing about festivals, which you don't get at, obviously, well, you'd hope you don't get at your own concert, is kind of people like just walking out. You know, like if people are, because if you're playing in a tent at a festival, you're kind of, if you're on the stage, you're aware of these people on the kind of edges who maybe have just popped in to have a look and see if you're any good. Or sometimes they kind of use the tent that you're playing as a shortcut across the festival. So it's a bit kind of, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, you know.
A little unnerving there.
Yeah, but then it kind of makes you try and, I don't know, I think then it makes you kind of make sets that try and win people over. So it kind of can make for a bit more of an immediate set, I think. But I think, I mean, I guess we would always just prefer our own shows, because you know that the people there have kind of bought a ticket just to see you. And I don't know, maybe it feels a bit more kind of, what's the word? I don't know. It just feels a bit more intimate or something.
Right.
Because we play such small places.
Well, you know the people that are there, unless they were coming in because it was too damn hot out, and they were just looking for a way to get cool. You know they're going to be there to listen to you, and hopefully they have some knowledge of you and the music, and so they're able to play along. I saw what was interesting is that you started out as a drummer, and you played on some other bands.
Yeah.
And so, my first question is, what's your feeling on girlfriends? Because somewhere I read something about, many of your early bands, got broken up because of girlfriends. So is there a girlfriend rule within the band currently?
Yeah, it's like get as many as you can in different cities. Not really. To be honest, there's only one band that I was in when I was younger that kind of actually that I would pin the breakup on a woman, but then it wasn't her fault. It was the guy in the band who kind of loved her. It was his fault, his weakness. but no, it's like it was kind of a heartbreaking thing for me, because it was almost like the band was my girlfriend. So yeah, there's no rule there now. Everyone's grown up, everyone's sensible.
So do you have? So with the drumming side of it, do you ever, feel a need to kind of pull a Phil Collins and get back there and and jam with Anna, kind of like a la Chester Thompson?
Well, it's weird. Like we did this show recently at the Albert Hall in London, and it was this like a real kind of exciting big deal for us, and people afterwards were saying, "Oh, like I bet you kind of dreamt of this moment," and I was like, "Well, yeah, but I kind of in the dream I had." It was like me on the drums instead of being at the front. So I definitely like the idea of, well, I love playing the drums, but I don't know if I'd do a Phil Collins. That would be, look what happened to him,
Yeah, he only won a couple, awards and did some Disney movie background, and
then he lost his hair.
Oh, well, that would be bad.
No, he's fine. He's fine. But actually, no, he can't even drum. He has to sellotape the sticks to his hands.
Yeah, I've heard he's got issues now at this point, unfortunately.
He does. But anyway, that's Phil Collins.
So tonight, Troubadour sold out. Maybe there might be tickets at the door. I don't know. Sometimes they release stuff at the last minute. So if you're up on Twitter, and you can follow the Troubadour, you might find out. Otherwise, I recommend going to Detroit Bar tomorrow night in Costa Mesa. And
I do too. I recommend that. Carry on.
And for people who who live in the neighborhood of Irvine, it's much closer.
It is convenient.
Well, Joe, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for carving out a little bit of time. Have you had dinner yet, or are you going to have dinner now prior to the show?
I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I'm sure I'll eat something.
Well, very good. I thank you again for your time, and have a wonderful show, and have a wonderful Detroit Bar. And try to slow down a little bit next time, and not squeeze as much shows into.
I will.
Into a thing.
I will.
I thank you very much for your time. And
no worries. Thank you.
And we're going to leave with "Everything Goes My Way." That's a great video, by the way.
Thank you.
When did you do I'm closing out the interview, but yet I have one more question. When did you have time to do the video? Did you do this during the tour, or did you do it earlier before the tour started?
It was like in the middle. I think we had a couple of days off, and one of them was spent doing a video, and that's why it's kind of, we wanted a video which we didn't really have to do that much in, so it seemed like the perfect idea, just walking about.
Walking about, and you got animals in the background running about.
Exactly. Serene.
So, very, very good. So, Joe, Metronomy, Troubadour tonight, Detroit Bar tomorrow night. Thank you, sir, very much for spending a little bit of time with us here at KUCI.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.